Hello, today I'm going to go over Melting Ice, Warming Oceans lecture. And this first image, what we have is obviously melting ice. Looks like it's on the top of a glacier maybe, but really we want to think more about floating sea ice in this particular lecture. We'll talk a little bit about ice that's also on land, in glaciers and stuff like that, like on Greenland or Antarctica. So let's start this off. So we know that human-released carbon dioxide is warming up the atmosphere. This is just fact. There's plenty of data that supports and proves this idea. The warming atmosphere is also melting ice on land and floating sea ice. So as the atmosphere warms up, we can see and measure a lot of the ice melting over the last 150 years, okay? Then this diagram down below shows sunlight, and it shows how much is absorbed when the land is free of ice and snow, right? The land absorbs a lot of the sun's light. It only reflects a little bit of that light, and water only actually reflects a little bit of it. Water is actually going to absorb a lot of sunlight, just like regular land. But on this side, what you'll notice is that ice and snow reflect a lot of sunlight. So most of that gets reflected and does not heat up or melt the ice and snow. Only a little bit of it does. So we know that ice and glaciers reflect more sunlight. Land, which is darker, absorbs more sunlight, releasing heat. That's what we see over here. All right, so let's continue with that idea. Remember, ice and snow reflects more sunlight, less heat is released. All right, in this next image, it's similar to what we saw, which is a lot of sunlight being reflected by ice and snow. But then over here, it gives a little bit more detail about sunlight and open ocean water. And open ocean water actually absorbs a lot of sunlight, and that means it absorbs a lot of heat from that sunlight, okay? That's gonna be important here. Floating sea ice is the same. It reflects most of the sunlight back out into space. Once this ice melts, the ocean water absorbs most of the sunlight heating the water. So we could see as this floating sea ice melts, it actually allows more heat to be absorbed by the ocean, which heats the ocean up more. And as the ocean heats up, more sea ice melts. We create this loop, and you can see, you can start at anywhere on this loop, but rising temperature causes sea ice to melt. As reflected ice disappears, darker ocean water absorbs more heat, which rises the temperature, which causes more ice to melt. Okay, this is a loop. This process creates a positive feedback loop. This one is a positive feedback. Positive means as it goes, it just increases whatever that process is, more and more and more and more. More melting ice leads to more heat absorbed by the ocean. All right, so that's just an intro to this topic. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this helps. Thanks.